What I find really amusing, especially for the younger generation, is that a lot of these things are like a time capsule for them because they're not even really used in the world anymore. If you look at the home phones or cassette tapes. So we often, with the youngers, play a game of like, do you know what this is? And about half the time they do, and half the time they don't.
Makes a little noise, but then I'll breathe out of this the whole time. For that whole hour, I've got this in my mouth.
Sounds funny.
Unfortunately, with decades of popularity among fishermen across this nation, these lakes here in Mammoth have suffered. There are years upon years worth of bait jars, beer cans, food bags, anchors, umbrellas, chairs, and everything that you could imagine sitting underneath the surface of Lake Mary and other lakes across Mammoth. In 2021 and 2022, I was launching a pilot research program for alpine lakes across the United States, and I decided to come down here to Mammoth and put my head underneath the surface of Mammoth Lakes to see what was going on.
Part of keeping Mammoth Lakes unreal is really about making sure that we are taking care of this space so that generations and generations can continue to come and recreate. And I think clean up the lake is just an integral part of doing that. We also realize that we're in a very unique situation where we not only need to bring in people to enjoy the town, but we also need to protect the spaces that are around us. We're in a place that is absolutely surrounded by natural, unreal beauty, and we have an obligation to that.
Yesterday, there's a boat prop, and then there was an old oil drum that had actually collapsed.
Today we found an Air Jordan, a lot of fishing gear.
A lot of fishing gear.
Hats.
Sunglasses, hats, swimming shorts.
Paddleboard, paddles, nets, anchors.
Child fishing poles.
Child fishing poles.
Lots of fishing poles.
A lot of beer cans.
Beer cans, some towels, and some degraded hats.
Oh, and then we found a car battery. That was pretty interesting. We pulled that out.
Plus side and the negative side of having freshwater cold lakes is it preserves all this stuff. So it's not going to break down, and that's why we have to get it all out as soon as we can.
You know, I'm one of the free divers, so glorified snorkeler sometimes, and so first priority is ensuring the safety of the scuba divers and communicating with them. And then if there's an opportunity to point stuff out to them, but then also go down and grab trash as well. When they find stuff that's cumbersome, whether it's a piece of wood, PVC, plastic, tarp, stuff, I'll go down a lot of times, grab it from them if it doesn't fit easily into the trash bags that they're carrying.
As we look to the future of providing water, technology is getting better and better, and that we're able to see more what's in those water sources. So by making sure that we take pollutants and contaminants out of the water, we're providing a clean source for water and consumption. I think it's really important to get those things out of the water sooner than later, not let them degrade and leach these things into our systems, and provide a nice clean drinking source.
We're actually reporting back to the California Department of Agriculture with a botanist who's able to do both morphological and molecular analysis of any plant species that we come across that we're concerned could be a different type of AIS. And ultimately, we've found things in Mono County, and we're happy that we haven't seen them yet here in Mammoth Lakes.
About to go in for some aquatic invasive species sampling. I've got my gear here, and so we're going to send her these samples today and get them all at the same time and ship them off in the mail. But got a bit of a challenge, and since we have to do this in one day, we're towards the end of the week, and I'm going in snorkeling. So it should be good, and if they are where I remember, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but we shall see. So I got 3 samples. One of the plants confused me, and I want to triple check because I think what I thought was a different one was actually the same.
Another part of this mission is to really get our community involved and educated on Clean Up the Lake and other sustainability activities that are happening around Mammoth Lakes, and it's really a whole community event to make something like this possible.
Ask anyone, I love doing a scuba cleanup. But I also know that this isn't the end game. It's not the solution for our organization. What we need to be doing is preventing this issue from ever happening. If you look back 5 years ago when our organization did its first scuba cleanup, we were finding litter that's been around for decades, if not centuries. That means that during our lifetime, our parents' lifetime, and our grandparents' lifetime, people were not aware of this issue in our freshwater drinking sources. Now, if we can change that, and we can work with these kids and these youth groups and put this at the top of their mind for future generations, we can prevent this issue from happening. These kids are going to be the ones that when they turn 18 or 25 years old, they're going to be starting their own nonprofits. They're going to be leading state, local, or federal agencies that are going to be the groups that drive change. So if we want to make a difference, if we want to prevent this issue from happening at its source, we need to start now with these kids, and we can promise ourselves and them a better future.